Originally, much like my Battle Sector video, I was planning on making this video very much an actual review of the game. But as I wrote the script and thought about it, the more I was like, that's kind of not what I want to do, especially for this channel. Not to say I won't do any at all, they just won't be as big of a focus as these kind of more conceptual videos about topics will be about said game. That is not shot at any review channels I watch a lot, especially ones like Mandalore Gaming or Seth Reviews, which are big inspirations for this. It is more, I want to make my mark, and that's how I'm going to make it here. Now, onto the actual video and game instead of a warning. Stellaris is yet another Paradox Interactive 4X game, so if you've played their other games, you have an idea what the gameplay is sort of like, with planning to keep it unique. Now, for those who think I'm a crazy person with words like 4X and Paradox Interactive, a 4X game is one where you play as a race or faction, or some kind of combo depending on the game itself. Then, throughout the game, you grow your empire or faction and manage resources, which may look different from game to game, but they're all basically the same. We have your money, your building material, your food, stuff for your people, and military resources, which are all needed to be balanced by you expanding your borders, gaining cities or planets in Stellaris cases. Then, depending on your faction, you win whatever way is best for you, whether that's research, or politics, or military might. There's many ways to beat these kind of games. With Stellaris, though, you don't pick a pre-established empire or any faction. While you can, and they're fine for the most part, some of the origins don't really fit their sort of playstyle, the main gimmick and what drew me to it is the fact that you can make your own empire from scratch to play as, from beginning to end. Now, when I say from scratch, some of you who don't really play the game might think I'm kind of exaggerating. And while there is some truth to that, I don't mean you can literally do whatever you like with your empire. You can still do so much with it, and even write down the lore for your empire in a little sheet it gives you. And even without that, you can still do so much for it, especially if you play with friends, where you can all kind of work together to make a story for yourself rather than just play with the AI. Now, to start something basic, which you might be shocked by even if you haven't played a game, you start with things like, what does your species look like? Where do they come from? Which their planet they come from, which in turn changes what planets they can take over for an easier time, as someone from like an ocean planet can't really colonize a desert planet that easily. Then you can pick what they name their planet, what they name their ships, how their people are named, or what their ruler is named. Then you can pick things like their traits, which gives them bonuses or downsides for more bonuses, depending on how you kind of want to balance them. There is a meta with it, and I'm not ashamed really, as I do a lot. For those who don't play the game, if you do try after this video, the best ones is leader experience gain less and less life, because it's not that long, and that's 2 free extra points from ethics. Then you go on to make your origins, which is kind of what sets your empire apart from the other ones, which is a variety of different beginnings or even challenges for your empire to either overcome, or maybe they get some kind of benefits, or maybe it's just a fun little flavor thing that doesn't really do much. You can start with something basic like prosperous unification, which start with some extra pop, not very crazy. Or if you made a robot, you can start with your planet being turned to one giant factory where there's no organics on it, and instead it's just a giant robot maker with lots of alloys and stuff to make for your robots. Or you can have your species enslaved by an AI empire that you either take down or work together. These are way different from each other most of the time. Some of them are kind of lackluster, for lack of words, and some of them really amp up the difficulty or give a nice little flavor to your empire. Now, on the topic of meta, again, I'm not going to talk about much in this video, as this video is more about what each player can experience. There is definitely a best way to play it, but besides just its origins and sort of traits, you also have civics and governing ethics. You can have things like a militaristic egalitarian, a materialist xenophobe, stuff that changes how you interact with other empires, and then you pick your form of government: imperial, dictatorial, egalitarian, or you can even be a hive mind or machine mind and just say fuck it, no one's free, everyone just has the same thought. Then, depending on your government, certain civics, which gives bonuses or changes, can change certain gameplay or even unlock and unlock stuff for you early or later on because of them. Then you can make your empire name and their flag before starting a game, even being able to pick the size and shape of your exact galaxy. Now, if you haven't already guessed, this video is on the world building aspect and roleplay of the game and how stories can develop and evolve in the game. Now, it isn't just your empire spawns, duh, and if you have more empires and let them, they can also spawn in and cause their own stories and issues thanks to how you made them. This is not to say the AI is super smart. They tend to build planets and star bases, which are your outposts, in very moronic ways, and can make some very questionable choices on allies or enemies depending on their civics. However, they're still smart enough for a full diplomacy, building fleets, and kind of being a threat to you depending on them. They also like the player can come in a variety of different builds and origins. So in some games, your first neighbor may be traders who just want to be friends and chill with you, or a devouring swarm waiting to pounce on you once their fleet is built up, or someone who literally just does not care about you. This is all happening in real time as well. There is no turn system in this game, which is my only issue with the game, as there are more parts of the game, especially in the mid-early game, that where you're kind of in between those two sections, where you're doing literally nothing but waiting in-game years for things to be built or to expand or just anything. Besides these moments, though, there's almost always something for you to do or to look forward to in the game, especially in the early game, where you are expanding and growing. In late game, dealing with constant politics and new threats to the galaxy, as the game has mid to late game threats that kind of shake up things to happen in the galaxy. Now, for me, it is hard to discuss the full meat and potatoes of what I mean, as I have a bad time articulating it, but I have plenty of empires to use as examples, and to use one, I started to show early game stuff, and my friend who shared their story in the late game, more mid to late game, so not full late game, to show how things can evolve and how different things can be just from two different playstyles. To start with my empire, the Quintian Star Pack is a knighthood whose planet was ravaged by what the people call the Toxic God. The knighthood itself was founded on ideas to hunt this god down and destroy it, while also being the protectors of the galaxy and its residents from those who seek its destruction. Despite this noble quest, there are those who wish to worship the beast and bring it into our folds. These have been known as the Penitent Ones, a cult for better understanding. Our first challenge is to defeat these cultists while slowly expanding our borders, since thanks to said god, our planet was ravaged and needs time to build up, which is also why we have built a outpost for our actual knights themselves. While we fight these cultists, we found the shipyard where they are planning and growing from. However, thanks to some amoebas blocking our way, we are forced to regroup and grow our fleets before scouting. During this, however, we received news that said shipyard was actually destroyed by another alien race, one we have not yet to meet. However, the leader and flagship left to a nearby system. We risked a science ship to scout ahead and reinforce our fleet to attack the ship and end the menace once and for all. And that's sort of where I'm going to end it for the Quintian Pact. Now moving on to my friend's empire. I don't have footage of it, as I didn't really have this idea until after writing the script. So this is actually going to be story time with gameplay of my current empire that I talked about before in the background. I do apologize for that again. Starting in the year 2244, the galaxy was split in two by two federations, only one isolationist empire being left, not picking a side. The coalition of sovereign planets and their enemy, the Galactic Security Organization. Two wage a long and messy war, fighting over every planet and resource in the galaxy. The Empire of Lariat hunted down the GSO, burning planets down less for the land and more for sending a message to them. No just cause or crusade, simply to weaken the Federation. As of the year 2307, only the CSN remain, with few enemies left besides the ancient empires and beasts older than the galaxy to challenge their might. In a last-ditch effort to preserve their name, or simply spit at the face of defeat, GSO sent a fleet from raider clans with intent for CSN to know who sent it. As the empire died out, now one remains, and what will become of these allies only will tell in time. Sadly, that is all I have for now for this video. I took a long break from the game itself before this video, so I don't have too much footage yet. But if this video does well, I might make more about the current empire, as I can tell it'll be one I actually finished in full. As for my friends, well, like I said, only time will tell with theirs. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe and and like this video and send it to anyone interested in the game. I'm curious to see what people think about it after watching this video.